Hi everyone! Welcome to Chubbychats.
I'm Pamela.
And I'm Astrid. And we have so much to catch up on, guys.
Yeah.
So we were looking at what the last episode we filmed was, which was the first year of the pandemic. And to remind myself when that was, because I didn't actually check when, it was the 18th of July. And it's the end of the year, basically.
6 months later.
So much has happened since. Like,
Obviously,
honestly,
it's been 6 months.
But also not
Sorry.
She's gonna be making so much noise. Non-excusable, but there were a couple of times where you wanted to sit down and film, and then just life got ahead of us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, we actually, like, a lot happened.
Yeah.
So, like, from July, what actually happened in July? I have my Lightroom things. I actually don't think they go that far back.
I know in August it was my birthday, so, like, at the end of July, beginning of August.
I mean, like, anyways, like, when you're nearing July, I have to start basically focusing on getting presents and saving money for my family because they all were just, like, they just all decided to
be born in
August. So, for me, that's, like, a time where I'm stressed and trying to get them presents. And I like to consider myself a person that does dedicate, like, time into thinking, like, what people want for their birthdays or Christmas or whatever. Like, maybe it's not something that I can afford, but then I'll try to go for the alternative of doing something meaningful. But if it's something I know they've been mentioning or something like that, then I'll definitely try to get it. Anyways, sorry, we're carrying on to something else.
Yeah.
But basically, like, I compiled a small list of things that, like,
happened.
That, yeah, like, some of the main events that happened since
the main
we
events,
left.
highlights of the year.
Yeah. So basically, these are not in order, but we'll make episodes about them in order as they happened.
Yeah.
So basically, since we last
this is, like, basically a catch-up video / podcast where we're just kind of tell you guys, like,
yeah, we're just gonna be
what happened, like,
a little
recap,
bit about everything.
A recap of the end of the year.
July. Let me look at what was happening in July. So in July, I need an actual story.
Yeah, I need an actual story.
No, as in, like, I'm looking at my Instagram stories from that month. And to, like, more or less remind myself. But I upload so much F1 stuff that, like, well, I just have my photography homework there. Oh my god, yes. Maybe that was why. Because in July is when Seb announced his retirement. Maybe I was just too unemotionally unstable for that. Anyways, yeah. So basically, since that happened, you have to shut up.
Sorry.
So basically, since then, we went to the Mexican GP.
In August?
No, like, since the last time we filmed the episode.
Okay, I thought you were going to go in order.
No, I literally just said, if you were paying attention,
yeah,
that would be great.
But you started with July, so then I thought, well, she said one thing, but she's doing the other.
No, I literally said I was going to list them out, not in order, but then we would film the episodes in order as they happened.
Yeah, and then you started with August.
Let's stop. This is going to be like a 40-hour long podcast. Basically, yeah, so we went to the Mexican GP. Mm-hmm. Before the Mexican GP, I ended up getting into this is going to be like a whole separate ass podcast, but I ended up getting into a private event where Max Verstappen and Chico Perez were
leading
attending.
up to the...
Crazy. Anyways, we went to the Harry Styles concert. I got so many more driver cards. What?
We got broken into.
Yeah, I literally put that in. There was another break-in at our condo.
Twice, no?
Well, I don't know if we count the last one.
Because we didn't say the one in August.
There wasn't one in August.
Yes.
That's the one that happened. There hasn't been one since.
But we didn't talk about that one because the last episode we posted was in July.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, that's the one. That's the break-in that happened.
No, because they came in again.
When?
Before for our tires and then for...
We did talk about the last one, though.
Yeah.
That happened, like, already before that.
AC's one and then again when they try to get our car again.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
No, we didn't.
Well, they're breaking.
Yeah.
In our condo.
Yeah, it's scary that
break-ins.
We can't tell them apart now.
And then what else? Oh my god, we started seeing a new nutrologist and what do you call an
endocrinologist?
Is that what you call him?
The hormone guy.
An endocrine.
No, that sounds awful.
Anyways, we started seeing 2 new doctors.
Yeah.
I basically found out I have
PCOS.
Yeah, PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It was in May, June, July. Oh yeah, so we did talk about my wrist surgery.
Which is coming back now.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
We went to Merida, which is like the Yucatan.
Oh, to try to get our visa, which we didn't get.
Yeah, but also like these are all stories that we'll get into detail later on. But we went to Merida, really last minute trip, and then
I had a whole meltdown, which I'm still living.
Yeah, there was, and then what else? My mom fell.
That was last Monday.
That was just a couple days ago. And she's completely fine. That's why we're laughing. Otherwise, we would not be laughing.
Yeah, no.
But Sebastian Vettel retired. The last race of the season happened. This is honestly, I feel like it's going to be maybe 60% F1 related podcast from now on. Because we not only like decided, but we did realize that like, because my life basically now revolves around F1, there's no way we can get away from talking about F1.
Yeah, and at this moment in my life, because I had the meltdown that I mentioned, I've been like really into Jesus, which is always a great thing, nothing wrong there. But then I was like, okay, we can't do a podcast that is half like F1 and half Jesus.
Why not?
We should just focus on
a new podcast. No, I mean we're still gonna talk about like
normal things,
basically everything that goes on, but like in the fact that we talk about everything, because my life is literally like 80-90% F1. Every single episode's gonna have something. Like, there's no way we're getting away with one episode where I don't mention F1.
Yeah, obviously.
Maybe in the future we'll do one where every time we mention F1, we have to take a shot. And then we're gonna wind up like blackout.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it till the end.
But, yeah, so since in July, the last thing I have was that I posted about Sebastian Vettel's retirement. I needed a lot to emotionally recover from that. We had... Oh, I actually got some. In July is when I got my Ferrari shoes from my friend, like one of my really close friends. She designed.
She is an artiste.
Yeah, and she made me some Ferrari shoes. Do you want to grab them?
No.
Okay. Well, I wanted to show
Give me a second.
I wanted to show the people on YouTube, but
no. I don't want to, but I'll get it.
That audio is gonna be great. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I have them so the people on YouTube can see them. And I actually posted a TikTok. By the way, I lost the login for our TikTok, so now if you want to go see something on TikTok, it'll be on my personal account or
no, we'll figure it out.
Account. Okay, sure. Here they are. So for the people on YouTube, these are the shoes.
We'll put actual nice clips in because this.
Are you gonna do that? Okay. It has 55 and 16, obviously, for Charles and
Carlos.
For Carlos and Carlos.
Leclerc. What is it?
Leclerc.
No, but the combination of their names.
Oh, Charlos the signs.
Yeah.
I kind of want to take pride in the fact that I came up with that.
Okay, congratulations.
But I don't know if there was someone before, but I do feel like on TikTok I was one of the first people.
The pioneers of the movement.
Well, yeah, because then other people started using Charlos the signs, and I was like, I don't know, guys. Obviously, probably maybe people thought about it before, but I definitely did post it. Not kidding, but like, yeah, beautiful shoes. That happened.
Yeah.
And then I lose kind of like the order of things from there. Like,
yeah, same. So much happened.
Like, I need to start looking here as where I need to start sort of like reminding myself what it is that happened, because I post most of my photography homework on there, and that's basically what's consisted of my August and July, which is my photography homework. But let me remind myself of something more big. Oh, my daughter's barking, so if you hear barking, my little doggy is upstairs. It's downstairs. Okay, so in September, I think that's when we mostly stuff started to happen, maybe. That I remember.
Like what?
September was Mexican Independence Day.
Okay, yeah.
And the earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to mention that. So
oh my gosh, that's like a cursed date.
So it was Mexican Independence Day in September. We went to the pyramid, like to a hotel nearby, the Pyramids de Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
And
that's, I think, where your Red Bull relationship really cemented.
Yeah. I mean, I was already, because I don't like this whole like rivalry with Red Bull Mercedes. Like, people are passionate. Let's say that. People are passionate. But I like to say that I'm not necessarily like like, yes, I'm more inclined towards Red Bull.
Yeah.
But
it's not like you choose the Scuderías over the drivers.
But I wouldn't say, I'm like, when people are like, oh, you're Red Bull, or oh, you're Mercedes, I'd say I genuinely like all drivers. Mm-hmm. Like, I am super happy when George and Lewis do well, and I'm super happy when Red Bull and Checo do well. Obviously, they, like, Red Bull dominated this season. Mm-hmm. But, like, yeah, I'm more merch inclined towards Red Bull.
But there's also more, and I think it's cooler than...
They have, like, more promotional or stuff. I also feel like it's more attainable, especially being here in Mexico, where...
Yeah, we're one of the biggest market.
Yeah, but also Checo, like, they sell a lot of Red Bull stuff. So, like, you know, I will have a lot more Red Bull stuff. Like, I have Checo's car and literally a Red Bull can. What?
This looks hideous, doesn't it?
I mean, you always dress
You're so nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I literally, like, for example, my framed driver cards, I have Seb and Lewis. So, I mean, it's I have the best of both worlds, you know? But yeah, what the hell were we talking about? Oh yeah, okay. So we went to celebrate the Mexican Independence Day in a hotel where we had celebrated before. We weren't there the first time, were you?
No.
Well, we had gone to that hotel before, and we went again this year. Things were okay. I mean,
they were like, you know, whatever.
The thing is that I feel like me and Pamela hadn't had, like, it's generally like our first few times where we celebrate Mexican Independence Day, like, here.
I mean, we celebrated it there, but it wasn't that big.
That was what I'm saying, but here in Mexico,
yeah,
because when we spent most of our all of our Mexican Independence Days out of the country, like, since I was 4 and Pamela was, what were you?
7,
and and obviously, like, in Europe or in Brazil where we were at, people aren't gonna celebrate Mexican Independence Day.
I mean, in the embassies they do.
Would, you know, here. But so this was my second year, like, properly per se celebrating Mexican Independence Day. We still find it, like, odd, a few things, you know, like customs per se.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like when you're screaming and stuff happens. Apart from the fact that Bella and I, like, generally don't know a lot of, like, the Mexican songs, and so for me, one of the biggest anxieties, because there was, like, a band playing and singing, like, they would bring the microphones over and, like, get like people to, like, finish the lyrics basically, or sing along with the band, with the people, and us, like, not knowing was like, oh, holy crap, like, don't pick us because we don't know the words. So, like, it is for me, and I did a photography project around this as well. I was, like, feeling sort of, like, out of place, honestly, like, even though we're Mexican and we take pride in being Mexican, whatever,
we're just, like, not very Mexicanist with our, like, things.
Like, so we did an episode on this as well, so
about it.
So in Spanish, I think, actually. I don't think we did one in English, but yeah, where we basically, like, there's a few times, like, a lot of times in being here in Mexico where we just feel out of place because we're not familiar with a lot of, like, things and customs, and so that was definitely one of the...
like, I think, like, that's one of the things that I'm always thinking. I'm like, yeah, it's just weird because, like, no matter how much happens, I don't think, like, at this point in my life I'm ever gonna feel like I'm gonna fit in, because I just don't have that same, I guess, core memory that everyone seems to share, like, here, and it's like, it's not the same thing. So
yeah, like, yeah, no. Is she calling you?
I don't know.
Oh, I can hear my mom outside. Anyways, yeah, she's calling us. Sorry, our mom called. Pamela went to a toilet break, but I'll carry on. So yeah, that was definitely an experience where I felt out of place. Like I said, I did a photography project on it. And yeah, I basically just spoke about how, like even photographing the thing, like, I feel like I've become better with, like, street photography and photographing people, because that's something that I've always been interested in, but it always kind of made me afraid. And I actually had a project in July where I was photographing a bunch of people. Love that. If anyone wants to see my photos, by the way, I have an Instagram account called Pics by Astrid, Pics with an X, and you can find my photos there. But yeah, like, it was an interesting experience. And then I think, like, 2-3 days later was when I'm so sorry, was when the earthquake happened here in Mexico. You know, there's, for those of you that don't know, there was a huge earthquake in, I think it was the 19th of September. Was it the 19th of September? Maybe I get the dates wrong. But there was a big earthquake. Like, the first earthquake basically was... When was the big earthquake? In 1985. It was the 19th of September. I got the date right. Pamela's back, so audio's gonna be great. Their hands are wet.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So the first big earthquake was in 1985, the 19th of September. An 8 something earthquake. My parents were present for that event.
Yeah.
And then... Like, in 2017, was it? The next earthquake.
Yeah.
Which was also the 19th of September.
We weren't here.
And that one, I think, was a 7-point-something earthquake.
Yeah.
And then we got, this year, the 19th of September.
Yeah.
Which people now, like... Well, every year, since the 1985 one, they do, like,
sort of a reenactment, because it was like...
No, but it's a drill. It's a drill.
Yeah.
Like, where they sound the alarm at the time it happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's at the time.
And emergency services, like...
Yeah, they basically,
things.
like, do what you're supposed to do.
In drills.
At drills, yeah. And so it's every year, the 19th of September.
At that
Obviously,
time.
in 2017, Pamela and I weren't here.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't living here in Mexico yet, so we didn't witness it,
But we, like, the news reached really fast, because I remember being at school and... like, all of the people telling me, like, have you checked, like, have you called your friends, like, are they okay? And it was, like, weird back then, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. And, like, it was scary.
Yeah, and then this year it happened again. I can't remember how much this one was. I think it was 5-point-something where we were. But 7-point-something where the epicenter was. Yeah. But, yeah, it happened again. And it was odd. And like, from what we've heard from people, this is... Well, now the second year where it's sort of similar. But, like, the alarm went off for the drill. And I think not even...
10 minutes later.
No, like 20, 30 minutes later. The second alarm went off. And so I remember, like, Pamela was working out, so she had her headphones in and she didn't hear it. But, like, I was sitting with my dad was working upstairs and I was downstairs sitting with my mom. And I said, Mom, like, the alarm's going off again. She was like, yeah, it's probably, like, and this is what happens, and that's why it's scary, because a lot of people don't know if it is or if it's not.
But because like, it is on the day, like, you think, like, your first thought is not, like, it is. It's, like,
Like, my mom was like, they probably just clicked it again by mistake, or, they're just playing it again, or whatever. And then because I was just thinking, like, I was, like, even before I had this feeling that, like, it was gonna happen anyways, but
which again taps into the whole thing that we talked about, that she, like, I don't know,
it's
connected.
I don't know. I genuinely had this, like, very strong feeling that we were gonna get an earthquake. But yeah, like, I was like, I was very insistent with my mom. I was like, no, like, even though it hadn't started yet, I was like, no, Mom, I think we should go outside. And then, like, it wasn't until, like, my dad, he, like, came out of his room and he was like, is the alarm going off again? And I was like, yeah, it is. He was like, then get out. And I was like, yeah, we should. And that's when we told Pamela, we tapped Pamela, and I grabbed my dog.
But, like, immediately after you tapped me, like, it started moving.
Things. And then the thing that, like, indicates for us a lot is that we have a pool outside, and the water starts
it's happening.
Pool, basically. And so, like, that started happening just as we were walking out of the house.
Obviously, I think it's, like, not that immediate. Like, for those who haven't experienced an earthquake before, like,
there's
it doesn't
a couple
just
of seconds,
but it doesn't, like, happen, like, just out of nowhere. You're, like, still, and then it just goes poof, it, like, builds up, like it starts to, like sway.
It gradually starts.
Yeah, but because here in Mexico, those very minor earthquakes are super common, like, every night, like, nobody feels them anymore, and it gets to the point where, like, the earth is shaking, you can't ignore it, and then that's when you, like, get out, like...
Yeah, like, and then Pamela and I always make sure, I feel like one of the first things I told my mom was, like, is the stove off? And, like, grab your phones, basically, because it's more, like, and then I am very focused in getting my dog, because she sort of disappears around the house, and so I'm always like, I gotta find her and get her.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed her.
I try to get my parents out, because they're not great at that either.
It's because they sort of start startling. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
And so then we got
out.
Which is
a whole other story when we're getting the stuff for the visa. Like,
yeah.
We were in the Cerre. Oh, for our passport, sorry.
Canadian all of a sudden. Oh, right. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah. But, like, then did you hear that?
What?
Okay. And then we went... And then we went outside, and that's when like the earthquake sort of picked up. The rest of the neighbors like ran out basically. Was my daughter even there? I think she was getting her hair cut. That's when she was getting her hair cut.
Oh yeah, no.
My daughter wasn't even there. Then we walked down.
I was like so close to throwing up because I had been working out, and then like you're already so high up there, like, you know, your brain's like, I don't know, somewhere up in the realms of like high energy, and then the ground starts moving, and like you can't walk properly, and the water's getting out of the pool, and like I remember just thinking I'm gonna throw up because everything's moving. Like I felt horrible. Like I had never been seasick or whatever. It's like ground sick.
I filmed it. I don't know where I have the videos, but I filmed it.
You should send it to me.
And not everything, just when, like, just the
yeah,
water.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can even see my neighbor, like, running out of the back. And...
Which I always feel bad because we have an elderly neighbor.
But I think she even, like, screams in the back, like, sorry. But because I was just remembering the video. No, she, like, says, is it for real? Like, is it actually happening? Because it's genuinely, like, the fact that, like, you have the drill before.
Yeah.
And then it happens after you're, like
it's
what
insane.
are the chances of it happening?
And there were a lot of memes
day.
and jokes about it because it was like immediate.
It was crazy. But like, yeah, I mean, we can talk about that later as well. But sorry, our elderly neighbor.
Well, whatever. But like, I always feel bad because like, regardless of who she's as a person, if it's someone that can't physically move quickly, like, I'm always like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to go into her house.
No, I mean
the
first time we had an earthquake, big earthquake here, like we did
like
go get
when
her.
we were here, not the first time in history.
No, yeah, but like my dad and my sister did go fetch her, but the thing is
like she was a dog or something.
No, like you can say go fetch her.
Okay.
And then since then she had an accident, she can't walk,
and she's bedridden, so
no, she's not. Like she had just had her accident, so she wasn't able to walk because she hurt her leg.
Yeah.
And so like we like whatever we wanted to do, we wouldn't have been able to get her out. So it was also like a matter of like you take care of yourself and get out. And apart from the fact that like we knew she has nurses with her and people with her, so it wasn't like she was completely alone or anything. She has nurses. And being like a country that's very prone to earthquakes, well, I'd like to think they have some sort of like training of what to do, whether it is put nurses, like a blanket over her or like just cover her in general, because I think that's what you do even in hospitals and stuff. Like you don't just sort of like run out and leave your patient there. But
I mean, in Korea, don't they like have baby jackets?
I don't know, but we're in Mexico.
Okay.
But yeah, that happened as well, the earthquake. And then,
as Astrid said, we went to the GP, which was a whole experience.
No, but we're not. You just skipped a whole bunch there. She just said F whatever happened before that. If we're talking about the GP, I know I'm excited too, but calm down. So after that is when I think like the visa thing sort of started like going on, which was
Oh, so like my dad had to go to the US for something, I don't know what, and he tried to renew his visa or something like that. And ours, like we realized that ours was expiring for the US of A, and if anyone knows, as a Latina, it's freaking hard to like just...
I mean, not even just as like, yeah, obviously the Latinos, but just in general, it's just
hard.
It's such a hassle to get your visa for the US.
US of A. So yeah. So like we were just trying to like make sure to get it in on time, which we're still trying to do.
No, not even get it in on time. Just like get it renewed, because even though we don't
on time
have, like,
before it expires.
It already expired. Yeah. Like it's
that's why
it's literally
so
just like getting it. But like it's not that like we have any particular like rush to get to the US, but it's just
it's good to have.
Yeah, it's like just having it, especially like now that Pamela and I are, you know, looking
growing
for more like no, thank you for trying to finish my sentences. No, I was gonna say now that we're looking for more opportunities abroad, but growing, sure.
That's what I meant, like expanding, like, you know.
Okay. Like you stopped growing ages ago.
Shut up! You're so mean.
Okay, sorry. I'm just so funny. Anyway. Yeah, like it's good to have like the visa. So we've been trying to obtain the visa for
since July, which is
now.
like it's been so long.
But like it's been a trip and a half. Like, we ended up having to fly to Merida in, like, a very last minute sort of thing. An attempt to get our, like, the first attempt to get our visa, which the prior to that, like, after knowing that we had the tickets to Merida, we realized that we needed to renew our passports because like, it's not that they were expiring and, like, soon, like, we still would have been able to do things, but because they're so, like, nitty picky and
you have to have, like, over 3 months before expiring on your passport for them to give you the visa. And
so then we were rushing to get and we were rushing to get, like,
our passports.
Our passports renewed, which was also just...
Mexican bureaucracy is amazing.
No, but, like, the thing is that, like, we also... There was a first attempt for that as well. The first attempt we went, like, they let us know that, like, apparently our first passport from Mexico, which was when we were, basically 0. Like, our first passports here...
No, you were 4 and 7. We were 4 and 7.
You were 4 and 7. I was 4 and 7. But, yeah, like, apparently those passports never got annulled, which to me sounds ridiculous because I mean passports can only last that long, but like the fact that in
also
their
we
system,
don't look like that anymore.
But the fact that in their system it was still active, that's what to me is like.
And what were we doing all that time?
Like, generally, did they think we were, like, in hiding or, like, what was happening? Apparently, they were never annulled. So then we first had to get those annulled, get our previous passports.
Also, because, like, like, the fact was, like, the biggest issue was, like, the one we took, we had made in the last country we were in. And they couldn't recognize that one for whatever reason. And, like, so basically, by that logic, in the Mexican Department of Immigration system, Astrid and I have been out of Mexico for 12 years. Like,
yeah, which isn't that crazy to think, but like to me it's just
as
like
children.
I don't know why. Yeah, well, obviously we weren't gonna stay 4 and 7, were we? Like, don't be daft. Like, no, it's just we hadn't come back into the country. Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what, we were grown. Like, honestly, that's not that crazy. Like, people move to countries and don't come back. I don't know if you've heard of that. But okay. But yeah, like, to me, the fact that, like, they were never annulled, even to say, like, canceled or, like, not active anymore
expired
is
or
what,
whatever.
like, yeah, like, they must have said something like, these don't work anymore, period. But, like, yeah, like, for us, it was like, so how come they never stopped us at airports and consulates? Yeah. And we've been to so many, like...
countries, literally.
No, but, like, even, like,
immigration points?
Yeah, like, just in general, I was like, wow, okay, whatever. Never been recognized, like, this issue has been recognized before, but okay. So we first had to get that sorted, and it was our second time of trying to get our passports, like, renewed. Holy crap, that took way too fucking long. We got there at maybe, like, 1 in the afternoon, and ended up leaving at, like, something. 6. No, it was at 1. Yeah. And then we ended up leaving at, like, 6, and... It wasn't even like, what I don't get is that Pamela and I went in at the same time.
Yes.
I even got in before her because she had issues with her papers.
With my papers.
But, like, we went through, like, every step basically
at the same time.
And Pamela got hers maybe 4 hours before I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was sitting there for hours.
Yeah.
Like, just wondering at what freaking point.
It surprised me too, dude. Because I thought, because of that little, like... I don't know, 15 minutes of, like, me having to stop and fix my papers. I thought, we're going to stay here, like, a while because of me. And then I just, like, went, like... Yeah,
like, it was... Like, luckily, the facilities were nice, you know?
Yeah.
The second time around, because the first time around, honestly, like, I could not. Like, there was some people being so rude. Yeah. The facility was just disgusting. And so, not disgusting, but it wasn't nice. And so...
And the people there, time, like, the actual staff there was just, like...
Really rude.
Yeah.
And so, like, the second time we went around... Like, the facilities were way better. Yeah. Because it was, like, in a mall.
Good funding.
Yeah. And, yeah, I had my, like... Luckily, I was able to have my phone, you know, because some people don't let you.
Yeah, that's true.
I was able to have my phone and, you know, sort of entertain myself. But it took way too freaking long. Like,
I had a good time. I entertained myself listening to all the kids, like, around me. And
yeah, but at some point that gets boring. Because, like, I was also observing people, but then you're like, oh my god, people... Like, well, first you're like, people are entertaining, and like, people are hella boring. Like, they all do the same thing.
You stayed so long, like, honestly.
Yeah, like, and then the audacity these people had.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Like, I was sitting... I'm not kidding. There's nothing else to do apart from waiting for your papers to be done.
Yeah,
and they
absolutely
call
nothing.
for you once there's several steps. So they call your name out to go to the next step and blah blah blah.
And
there's absolutely
yeah.
nothing else to do
other than go to the bathroom.
Listening. You're like listening to everything they're saying. Also, that surprised me. Did not go to the bathroom once.
Yeah.
From freaking 1 to 6.
Yeah.
And didn't go to the bathroom. But yeah, like I was sitting there, nothing else to do. So you're just listening, basically waiting to hear your name, which is like the miracle you need in that moment in that facility. And then this man had the audacity, like when he finally called me to, after all the hours, finally receive my passport.
But that was after you complained, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like when I went through all the steps and all I waited now was to get my passport finally. This man calls me. I go. And then he's like, I called you like several times for your passport. And I was like, are you like literally, I was sitting right there for hours. Not once did you say my name because I've been listening. Trust me, I have nothing else to do. And, but like he was like, I called you several times. You know what? At that point, you don't even argue. You're like, what? Okay, sure. And then sign your things. You want to get out of there. So like, just got out of there. I was like, that. Like, this man has the freaking audacity to tell me, like, he's called me several times. Because, yeah, I was just having fun with my little buddies that I made over there. Like, no, like, it's ridiculous. But whatever. It got done. And then, what was it, 2 days after that, we were flying to Merida.
Yeah.
Which was...
With our brand spanking new passports.
Suddenly we're British. We went from Canadian to British.
Shut up.
Yeah, and that was... a trip. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah. I just, like,
it was all in a rush.
I felt like it was too much. Like, it's so warm there. Like, and the fact that, like, our ancestors was just walking around there without... We're just walking around without shade or AC. Like, honestly, they were, like, built stronger than me. Because I just...
Well, duh.
Well, duh.
That's not very hard.
Yeah, I just wouldn't have, like, survived at all. Also without, like, mosquito repellent. Like, honestly...
Yeah. No, I laugh because I told my sister we went to like an archaeological sort of like trip for one of them, like tour.
Yeah.
And I was telling my sister I tried so hard to pay attention to it because I'm not, I don't.
Yeah, she doesn't care about history.
No, like history is interesting, but it has to be presented in a way that's like entertaining for me. And so going to tours, my attention span lasts maybe very exaggeratively an hour and a half, maybe. Yeah. But then you lose me completely.
And
like,
most of those trips are like a full day of like something.
Yeah, it's like a long time. And so then at some point I'm like, sorry.
Which I think is beautiful.
And
our culture is so diverse.
I thought about me not paying attention. No. Like, sure. But then I just started taking pictures. And I was like taking pictures and having fun. I listen every once in a while because I don't want to be rude. And then people feel like I'm not listening. So I do try to, eye contact. And when they make eye contact with me, like listen and stuff. But honestly, like... No, I don't retain much.
I mean, it was really nice. I recommend it. I think we're gonna have to make a separate video of that because it was fun and
not much happened, to be honest, apart from visiting stuff and taking pictures. And then like I got to see one of my really close friends as well because she moved there a while back. Chico won the Singapore GP when we were there. But like not much happened apart from the fact that we failed the first time.
First attempt.
We failed our first attempt at getting the visa because of some other crap that we don't have to go into detail.
Yeah.
But yeah. First attempt failure at getting our visas, even though our mom did get it. We didn't.
Yeah.
And then, which also, hella trip trying to get to the toilet for you. When we were there. I was already so fed up with, like, just being there in general, like... trying to get our visa and just fed up, and then I was like, I have to go to the toilet. And then we like basically walked around maybe 5 blocks to try to get to the damn toilet.
To the same place.
Which in the end, like getting back to like our dad, because our dad stayed with our stuff like at a AC place where it was air conditioned. Like it was like a straight line and 2 minutes. And we went around like 5 blocks trying to look for a toilet, which I was like so fed up. I was like, holy crap, like no.
Yeah, but, and because people kept pointing at different directions. They were like the bus.
No, but to be honest, we never even asked. Like we were just like the bus stop's like over there, and then we just sort of kept walking. And then we saw another person. And I was like, are we gonna ask? Are we gonna ask? Are we gonna ask?
And we would ask when they would say the bus stop, and then we just kept going and going.
Well, yeah, and then
I mean, we got there.
Yeah. I mean, it was very short. It was like, what, 4 days maybe? 3? Yeah, like it was a very short trip.
Very fast, but we managed to enjoy it.
Yeah, and I took awesome pictures of my phone. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Probably some of my favorite pictures of cenotes.
Yeah.
Oh, that I took there. Like, actually, like, you know, not to toot my own horn, but they're freaking cool. And then after that, wait, what month are we in now?
I don't know. But this is the longest podcast we've done.
Why? How long has it been?
It's over 30 minutes for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're only like 30 minutes, so we can cut it here. Yeah.
Okay. So.
I think we have one that's like 40 minutes. But, like, yeah. That's the end of our Mérida trip, and which is cool because now that I see my phone, I have to talk about my new tattoo. Oh. So we can start that in the next one, which can lead into October, which was where
everything spiraled.
Where my life changed. I became the happiest person in the world. Basically, I evolved as a person.
Why?
Because F1, like, just my life
took over
like,
your life.
Like, wow. It was like I felt it was like my art. I sparked gold, and it was like rainbows and ponies and actually cars.
Edward Cullen vibes
in my mind. Yeah, I was living the life in October. Probably the best month for me this year, honestly. Anyways, we can cut that there. We still haven't talked about the PCOS and everything, which is before that, so
yeah, we're gonna
we'll readjust. But yeah, in the next episode,
we're gonna like probably carry on mainly with like F1 things. Oh, okay.
I love how in touch and connected we are. We finish each other's like sandwiches really well.
I mean, I thought you were gonna say F1 stuff.
And no, I mean in the next episode we still have to get some kind of order in this. And the whole PCOS thing was before.
Yeah, but we, like, just skimmed through it. I thought we were going to, like, take the time to...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So in the next episode, we're talking about our health update. And then we can go into... We'll see where it leads us. Like, I'm not going to say exactly where we're talking. You know what? And I feel like we should just also carry on with our English podcasting.
Oh, okay.
Because we have the Spanish thing. It's not that we don't like it. But honestly, like... Our main Spanish viewers are family friends that, like, speak Spanish, so we don't have, like, mainly a big viewership in Spanish, and it's mostly in English. It's easier for us to do in English, and, yeah, I just feel like we get through them faster in English than we do in Spanish. So, honestly, I think from now on, we'll continue in English. If there's something that we particularly like, this has to be spoken about in Spanish, then sure. I highly doubt it. But, anyway, sorry. But, yeah, I think the next one will be about PCOS and our health updates.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, not specifically about PCOS, but I don't know much. But, like, basically our health updates.
Yeah, okay,
but that's
okay.
it. But, yeah, anyways, this is really all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's...
That's life.
It's gonna serve more as, like,
catch up.
For us, like, watching back and be like, this is what happened in the last few months of the film.
Of 2022.
But I say that a lot. But, yeah. Shut up. What other one can you say apart from that? Cola. I'm too sorry. Let's go. That's it.
Okay. How did we finish this normally?
No clue. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to know more about us, like I said, mentioned previously, you can follow me on my Instagram at Astrid Moreno with double I, and also my photography account. What is it? Pics by Astrid. And my TikTok, where I post basically
it will all
full
be linked
F1 content.
down below.
Well, for the Spotify viewers. Astrid_Moreno F1. And yeah, I mean, if you go to my Instagram, there's a link tree. So you can just find everything there. And that's it for you. What else?
You guys can find me on YouTube at Pamela Moira.
Sorry.
At Pamela Moira, Moera. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Look at my hair.
Okay.
Anyways, it's getting to those hours, you know?
No.
Yeah, giggle hours. I get tired.
Okay.
They're not called giggle hours. What are they called?
Happy hour.
You're alcoholic. Oh, sorry. It's getting to giggly hours. I'm going to call them that. Anyways, we'll see you later. Love you. And
have a very Merry Christmas.
I mean, we're still going to come back very soon. Definitely before Christmas, but okay. Sure. Have a Merry December.
Yes. Be intentional with what you guys do. It's a holy season. Remember, it's for Jesus.
Listen to cool Christmas music, unlike Pamela.
I think it's cool. I'm pretty sure Jesus thinks it's cool.
And we'll see you. I don't know when. I'm not going to promise anything because we said we would be soon in July. But hopefully
we'll try to make it better. Like, we'll try to actually keep a good schedule.
Okay,
but
so
anyway.
we'll see you soon.
Bye.